So equally, you've probably seen these balls sitting around in the arena and wondered why we had these balls sitting around. And it's because I like to do a bit of desensitisation with them. It's something really foreign to horses. It looks really different, makes a funny noise, moves irregularly. So it's something that I like to desensitise them a little bit with. It's just a bit of preparation. Good girl. We haven't done this. Betty's seen them lying in the arena and she's gone and investigated them. She needs to move her feet. I'm going to let her move her feet. Yeah. Good girl. She wants to investigate it a little bit. I'm going to let her do that. I want her to have confidence in what I'm doing with her. If she doesn't feel comfortable with it, she needs to tell me. Good girl. You want to have another look? Yeah? Yeah. What is that, huh? What is that? Eventually, with some horses, I tie these to the saddle and have them just loosely bumping off their sides. The really sensitive ones, the overreactive ones, I tend to do that a fair bit with. You get the chaff bags out and some bottles with rocks in them, and we just try and prepare them as best we can. You can't prepare them for everything, but you can try and prepare them for... You can give them a solid foundation and prepare them enough to get them by safely. If you find they have an adverse reaction to something else, then you go back and you do this with it. You know, there's some things you just can't. You can't desensitise them to everything. Good girl. I just love how she's so chill with everything. I've said it lots of times, you can't beat a good red mare. You just cannot beat them. They're your best buddies for life. Once you've got them working with you, they'll jump over the moon for you. Come here, Bet. Come here, Betty. Good girl. Good girl. You want that? So what I was saying before about horses' energy levels, now if I had to come out with Betty and started this when she'd been in the yard and then I just put her into the stables and we'd brushed her and then brought her straight out here, if I had started with this, it's too much energy and she's got too much energy. You need to take a little bit of that energy out of their feet and out of their mind, and then you can do stuff like this. So what we're going to do, I'm going to get Morgan, who's been helping me out for the last couple of weeks because of the COVID situation. It's been a lot healthier for her to come out and get some fresh air out here with me and the horses, and it's been good for her mind. Can you stand on that side of her? Just go up and give her a pat. We're going to throw this ball over the top of her a little bit, okay? I might bounce it off her back and you catch it on your side. And so here, actually I might turn her around. Come here, Bet. Good girl. So what I'm going to do is, this is going to put pressure on both sides of Betty, okay? So you come up, just give her a pat. So this is more like when we sit on top of our horses and our legs either side, okay? So that's pressure from both sides. So I'm just going to do a little bit of prep work here because I've been bouncing the ball off Betty's sides. So that's like one leg. This is going to come from both sides. I'm going to bounce this ball And Morgan's going to catch, Morgan's going to do the same thing. Yep. Yep, and then back over to me. And then, so the one thing you need to be cautious of when you're doing this with another person is that if I need to pull on Betty, Betty's hip is going to go towards Morgan. So Morgan needs to step towards Betty's head if she starts to move. Okay, back over. So you see Betty reacted there. That's all right. She's allowed to. Keep going. This is where Betty just kind of needs to learn. It's the same deal as what I was doing when I was on that side. And the reason she's reacting is because there's two of us. So we're both adding pressure. We're squishing her in the middle. She needs to learn to relax with that. Betty knows Morgan because Morgan brings her up and brushes her and rugs her and takes out her feeds and stuff. So Betty already knows Morgan, so she's already got confidence with Morgan. If you were to introduce a person the horse hadn't met before, I would probably get them to do a little bit of work with them. So this is really good. You see Betty's got her leg cocked. She's got her ears back, but she's not being nasty about it. She's just listening to what we're doing. She's nice and relaxed. Good. The other thing is, this is quite irregular. Like, to some point, there's a little bit of rhythm to it, but it is quite irregular, and the ball tends to go where it wants to go. So, good girl. Let her have a look. Good job. So now, I want the idea of this. When we throw it up like that, it's more like where our head's going to be at, above the horse. And just get them used to something moving around up there before I go and shove my head up there, and then I'm at my horse's will, you know. They're responsible for my safety then. Good. Just going to move down a little bit. When you move around a little bit, it just adds to the energy we're putting out and the pressure. And she's licking and chewing. She's quite relaxed with all of it. It's good. And you got to remember, Betty was pretty much a feral. She had had very basic stuff done to her, and she could be quite difficult to handle. Her owner and breeder had sort of not handled her much because of how difficult she could be. So for her now, we've sort of shown her that there's nothing to be scared of, and she's putting a lot of trust in us. It's good to see. She's definitely going to be ready for a ride at the end of this week. It's good. It's irregular, and it's not normal, and it's sort of it's doing its own thing, and she's just tolerating it. Oop, that's all right. Keep going. Good girl. I'm just going to pat her now. Just stand. Don't stand too close. Yeah, that's perfect. Good. So come back up here. So that's quite normal. You've got to remember that when I work her and I need her to go forward and she's getting stuck, I slap her on the shoulder, and then I slap her on the butt if she's not moving forward enough. So the ball just bounced off her butt. So her response to that was quite normal. Good girl. So this is good. This is enough. That's enough for Betty today. She's done really well. Done well. Good job. Yep. Yep. You can have Sailor and Morgan too. She's going to be a real special little horse, this one.
Oh, just handed it.
All right. Now I'm just going to soften her again. Because when I ride them, I always start with flexing and I always finish with it. So we nearly finished our session today. Good girl. So what I'll do at the end of this is I'll actually let her go and let her have a bit of a run around. Good girl.